Hello everyone and welcome back to LewisFiction and welcome to Venom Lethal Protector Part 2, the second part in a 3-part series. If you have not seen Spectacular Spider-Man Seasons 3 and 4 on the channel right now, make sure to go check them out because this will make no sense to you, and obviously watch Part 1 if this is your first time on the channel. With that being said, let's get straight into it. So the last part was there to really set up Eddie Brock's character and to really explore the world of San Francisco, whereas this part will go into more detail about the underground refugees that are because of the homeless population growing in San Francisco and exploring more of that side of the city. After defeating the mechanical robots in the last part, Eddie Brock will start to be integrated into one of these refugee camps. As we know, Eddie Brock obviously can't get a job anywhere, thus he can't get an apartment, and obviously he is homeless because he is on the run from the police. And like we said in last episode, Eddie's story throughout this series is going to be trying to find his place in society once again. So this is where the narrative plot point of the homeless population from the first episode does really cross paths with Eddie Brock's story, as Eddie Brock will become integrated into one of these camps. Obviously, he finds their story relatable, and they will also take some relatability into Eddie Brock as well. Eddie will be accepted into this underground society under one condition: he isn't allowed to be Venom. A bunch of the higher-ups and the officials at one of these societies underground will be wary of Eddie Brock because they know his past as Venom. Venom is a very famous figure. He's been across international news due to his battles with Spider-Man in New York, and people know that Venom has now traveled to San Francisco, and obviously they are accepting of people who need help the most, and Eddie Brock will express that he is now a good person. Eddie will find solace in this underground society, almost finding a place to live and a place to reside. He has found a new meaning in life. But on the flip side of things, Eddie still wants to find out who those mechanical robots were sent by and where they came from. And this is where he will meet someone known as Anne Weying. Anne Weying will be one of the people in this underground society that will be very accepting of Eddie Brock. In fact, most of this episode will be exploring their relationship and the chemistry that they end up having together. Eddie and Anne will relate as outcasts from society, and they will both share their experiences. Eddie will talk about how being Venom has ruined his life, but is also a gift at the same time because he gets to help and protect people, which he now likes doing. Eddie will go on to say that yes, he doesn't help people in the most orthodox way, but he likes to think that he is a force for good in the city of San Francisco. And he is thankful to Anne and the rest of the community for being accepted of him, since he couldn't really find his place in society. We will also take this time to explore Anne's character as well. It turns out that she was once an employee of Orwell Tech, like we mentioned in the last episode. And through Anne, we will learn more about Orwell Tech and what that company actually is. It turns out that they don't really treat their employees very well. And the owner of the company, Tyler Orwell, will also be a very suspicious and very narcissistic man. Anne will tell Eddie about the time that she decided to rebel, but she got let go by the company. The company went on to destroy her reputation, meaning that she couldn't actually find a job anywhere else, since most of the city has been monopolized by Tyler Orwell already. And that is how she found herself in one of these underground societies who took her in and who would be kind enough to give her a home. As you can see, we're trying to parallel Eddie and Anne's stories so they can relate to each other a little bit more. They become allies, and they also become very close because of this. We might even hint at something romantical happening between them. Throughout this episode, Eddie will be searching for answers to what the mechanical robots were for, and Anne, being a former Orwell Tech employee, will be quite suspicious of the robots herself, saying that they look very similar to something that she worked on when she worked at the company. So a good portion of this episode will follow Eddie and Anne as they go and try and find and recover some of the missing scraps from the robots to try and identify where they actually came from. Once they get a hold of some of the pieces, Anne examines them and does confirm that they do in fact come from Orwell Tech. And this now begs the question, what does Orwell Tech want with Venom, and particularly Eddie Brock? How has Eddie got tied up in all of this shenanigans? And this is where Anne will go on to tell Eddie about Tyler Orwell and how he's a very narcissistic and egotistical man, and he will do anything to get his way. So Venom must have done something pretty bad for him to be on his radar. Eddie says that there is only one way to find out. But before they could go searching for more answers, another group of mechanical robots decide to attack Venom. But this time they attack the camp as well, destroying it in their path. Venom does everything in his power to save as many people as possible and to destroy the robots at the same time. Unfortunately, like the first robots, these robots are particularly designed to combat Venom and his powers. The destruction rages on, but Venom can't do anything about it. He saves as many people as he can, including Anne. However, a few people do die in the process. Venom eventually defeats the mechanical robots, but it's too late for the camp. The underground refugee system has been destroyed, and this particular underground society is now completely destroyed. And Venom can't do anything but blame himself. Thank you very much for watching the second part to Venom Lethal Protector. Make sure to return next Sunday for the final part of the series and the conclusion to the entire story, and maybe some hints towards Spectacular Spider-Man Season 5. And then also make sure to not miss the week after that, as that will be the Spectacular Spider-Man Summer Break movie, which will be taking place in between Season 4 and 5 and will be crucial to the story of Season 5 as well. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care, and peace.